Alright there, my radioactive geezers, it's Overseer Egg Boy Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Game Show. And you know what? I bloody love the Fallout franchise. Even before the TV show hit the scenes and sent the world into an atomic meltdown of passion for the franchise, I was deep in the vaults with Gary. I was naming my character on Fallout 1 None by accident, thanks to the rather obtuse character creation screen. I helped the Chosen One's village. I brought clean water to the wasteland. I fought the terrible blob boss from the equally naff Brotherhood of Steel game, and I may or may not have accidentally put a bomb on a child and sent them in to kill their own father in Fallout 2. Yeah, I didn't feel good about that one. I felt great! Still, with all of this Fallout love floating around like radioactive particles, now seems like the best time to give Fallout fanatics a slew of other games to try if they love the idea of venturing out into the apocalypse, or role-playing as infected survivors, or just experiencing alternative takes on historical events. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 8 games like Fallout I guarantee you've never played. And you know the drill, this is the Deep Cut with Jules Gill, baby! So don't expect to see regular titles on this list like no Stalker, no Wasteland, no Metro, because they're just too obvious. So let's kick things off with number 8, Atom RPG Trudograd. Oh yeah, by the way, I know the studio has changed slightly. I have rotated my desk, shock horror, and found that I actually have legs. I enjoy the fact that I get to stand up and move around here. This is what it's going to look like going forward, but there may be some tweaks, some visual changes, because I'm experimenting and finding things out. And yes, the microphone does look weird, like it's designed from Minecraft. It's good though. Now, sometimes the best place to start with a list on Fallout-like games is by covering a title that is directly inspired by the original 2 titles. Say hello to Atom RPG, which is in essence Fallout, but shown through a USSR lens. Now immediately say goodbye to that game because we're going to be going a little bit deeper and talking about its standalone expansion, Trudograd. And the reason that we're doing this is actually threefold. One, it's a lesser known extension of a game that's already pretty niche, so it's scratching that deep cut itch that I forever possess. Either that or I've got lice, I will deal with that later. 2, you don't need to have played the original because this game can be started fresh and onboards new players really well. And 3, it's just a better game than the original overall. Now, while Atom RPG definitely got a lot right, and I mean a lot, seeing as its combat, its style, and sheer depth of customization rivals Fallout and actually improves on them in certain areas, the writing was always a distant second best, with some wonky translations, gaping logic holes, and just a feeling of being railroaded towards certain moral choices. Trudograd, on the other hand, it dials in on its story and uses the titular city as a setting for a much more focused narrative, with a lot of the side content tied to locals that you'll need to converse with, win over, barter with, and fight, and sometimes straight up murder in order to learn all of the machinations of this apocalyptic setting. This is basically what XCOM Chimera wishes it managed to achieve. By the way, apparently I heard online that that word is meant to be pronounced as Chimera. Can anyone confirm that? Because that doesn't sound right. It's a H-Bomber guy reference, that. And when coupled with a stellar customization suite, tight combat, and charmingly depressing setting, Trudograd should be your first port of call when looking for your next Fallout experience. Number 7, Outer Gas. Now, I won't lie to you, friends. Yay! Outer Gas is one of those rare titles that has a mercenary-like contract out for your fun and is going to have it dead or alive, as this game is balls to the walls, octane action, and is absolutely soaking with very fun adrenaline. Whatever. The premise is as simple as its art style. You are out of gas and you want to make it to the party at the end of the world, and therefore you are going to shoot everything that stands in your way. It's kind of like if Mad Max 1 was made into a cartoon. Well, more of a cartoon. Have you actually rewatched that film recently? It is wacky. But what makes this game stand out, other than its cartoony art style, is its brilliant approach to combat, which combines classic first-person RPG battling with a shooting gallery mechanic, which allows you to blast tiles off of enemies in order to expose their organs, which you can then hit for extra damage or even disabling their attacks. It's one of those battle systems where you just think to yourself, why is this not in other games? Other games need to take this and apply it to their own. Limb damage needs to be a bigger thing in most games, and if it was handled half as well as it is here, well, it would be a monstrous selling point for a video game title. But as it stands, Outer Gas is a post-apocalyptic thrill ride which never lets up on the action, comedy, and gruesome violence. If running through the wastelands of Fallout with your overpowered weapons is your bread and butter, then Outer Gas is a dirty, fat, all-you-can-eat buffet. Dig in, my friends. Number 6, all of the other Fallout games. Now I know you might be looking at the header of this title and scratching so hard at your head that some of your scalp might be coming off in your hands, but that's right, my friends. There are actually tons of other Fallout games that people just aren't aware of that you can now learn about as you wait in the A&E section for them to reattach your head skin. You're welcome. Say hello to the wonderful world of not video games, also known as board games and role-playing games. Now, don't worry, I know this is a scary subject for hardcore gamers, but here, take my paw, it's going to be okay. Especially seeing as these Fallout branded games, well, they offer pretty much everything you love about the franchise, but do so in very different ways. From the original Fallout board game that sees you try to claim the wasteland for your own via a map system pulled straight out of the original titles, to the outstanding Fallout role-playing game in which you can live out your dreams of taking the tunnel snakes to the surface and beyond. Or maybe you want to try out the soon-to-be-released Fallout Factions miniature skirmish game, which actually looks incredible, by the way, and I will definitely provide some coverage over on Live and Let's Dice, which is my board game channel. So there are so many different ways to play Fallout without ever having to pick up a controller. And I know it's very different from the Fallout games that you're used to, being a #hardcore gamer, but at the same time, if you can find a group of like-minded wasteland wanderers willing to try something different, well, there's so much to enjoy in these games that most of you might not even know about, and likely even few of you have actually ever played. What's all that commotion then? Oh, it's a nuclear air raid siren. Fantastic, the end of the world harkens. Hello mate, how's it going? Oh well, I have many regrets to reflect on in my short time now left alive, but at least I definitely didn't regret subscribing to the FGS YouTube channel. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, seeing as I'm about to die over here. But still, if you haven't subscribed, might as well do it now. I mean, like I just said, apocalypse is on the horizon, so just do it, man. Like, let's all go out together in one big bang. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. See it. Number 5, Mr. Prepper. Okay, hands up, who wrote Fall Off Shelter off as a bit of a fad and then managed to soak up tens of hours thanks to it being as addictive as Jet? Yeah, that's a lot of mutated limbs that I'm seeing here. And yes, I too would like some more Jet. So while I go hit the limit, why don't we just jump to a voiceover explaining why Mr. Prepper is perfect for continuing this harrowing addiction to vault building titles. See you later. Have you ever wanted to build your own Vault-Tec-inspired vault? Are you certain that the end of the world is right around the corner? Do you have a deep distrust of the government who keep on telling you that keeping this many malfunctioning Furbies is apparently illegal? Seriously, Welsh government, get off my back. I've got plans. I'm going to make this country's version of Chuck E. Cheese with even more creepy robots, so let me goddamn cook. Anyway, if you answered yes, and why are you recording this call to these questions, then you need to get Mr. Prepper, a game about building a fallout shelter under your house and then hiding all of the evidence from government officials that insist on searching your domicile. As you dig further into the earth, trade with neighbors on the sly, and then desperately attempt to hide all of this by pretending to also be under the hive mind control of this new oppressive government, the joy of getting away with this insanity just grows and grows. It's so oddly satisfying to present a calm and normal house to the inspectors while harboring a bloody rocket in your basement. And it just hits with that same bleak humor that Fallout delivers so well. Plus, there's always the chance that your plans at escape will be thwarted by actual nuclear war, so enjoy that radioactive sword of Damocles that is hanging right over you as you play Mr. Prepper. Number 4, Urban Explorer. Okay, I know I'm cheating a little with this entry, seeing as this game hasn't actually come out yet, and therefore unless you are a developer at Pyramid Games or have downloaded the rather scant demo available for Urban Explorer, there's little chance that you've had time with this upcoming parkour title. However, it definitely should be something that Fallout fans will look to add to their wish lists, as scrambling through decaying ruins will feel right up their street. And with parkour elements, you'll be able to scale, leap, and roll through areas with style. Plus, with upgradable equipment like drones and lock-breaking tech, you'll be able to appreciate these often creepy and harrowing remnants in ways that are similar to exploring a vault for the first time. Now, while the apocalypse definitely seems but a radioactive twinkle in this urban explorer's eye, the locales and less than friendly locals totally make it feel like you're picking through the bones of nuclear disaster. When desperately scaling ruined buildings, snapping photos of long dormant weapons, or hightailing it from rabid dogs, it's very easy to roleplay this game as a vault survivor exploring the world above. above, or as a scavenger desperately searching for junk to trade for caps. Plus, it's got that same kind of horror-adjacent vibe that one gets from exploring the dark depths of the Fallout universe, so expect to have your spine tingled many times while playing this title. If you are looking for something far lighter in the story department, but equally as immersive when it comes to its atmosphere, then Urban Explorer might just scratch that Fallout itch. Just be sure to get your shots before heading out, because this is basically like a theme park sponsored by tetanus. Number 3, New Blood's Fallout CRPG. Okay, yes, I am definitely ticking the guaranteed you've never played this box by including another game that's not even out yet, but trust me, when you see what developer New Blood is cooking up with their yet-to-be titled new CRPG, you will be sounding like Prim Goddamn Slim with how happy it will make you. Yeehaw! I mean, just look at this. Look at this. It's not even hiding its inspirations, and I'm very glad about that. From its isometric perspective, its in-depth dialogue trees and blocky visuals that are full of character, this is the spiritual successor to the original Fallout games that you have been waiting/praying for. Now, New Blood has been very clear about wanting to make a Fallout game, and from all of the footage available to us, they have nailed that brief like a plasma round to the dome. Yet, the team clearly isn't just happy to trade on another IP's nostalgia, as it seems that they've spent significant time addressing the one issue that many had with the original Fallout titles, and that was the rather inconsistent combat. Here, in place of an RNG nightmare of secret dice rolls and missed shots, this title moves the action to a first-person perspective and plays out more like a dungeon-crawling title of old. This means that you'll still get the satisfaction of chaining together actions with your party and strategizing in order to defeat wasteland creatures, but now you'll be able to witness their demise in glorious, first-person action. Plus, this decision will hopefully mitigate the woeful instances of being out of range of your weapons and the heinous instances of accidentally shooting your own teammates because they won't move out of the way. Seriously, the amount of times on Fallout 1 or 2 it's just been like, oh, I'm not going to give you a ranged weapon because you keep shooting me in the back. I know that you say that you're helping, but sending me to the grave isn't helping, mate. If New Blood continues at this pace and delivers on what is already shaping up to be a glorious homage, we could be looking at the best old school Fallout game that has nothing to do with Fallout. Number 2, The Fall, Last Days of Gaia. Okay, my friends, let's get deep into the bag of deep cuts and talk about an underrated, if slightly wonky gem of a game that is fading into obscurity so fast that pretty much all that's left of it is a small atomic imprint of it against a crumbling wall. This blocky angular jankfest is The Fall, Last Days of Gaia, a post-apocalyptic RPG title that dropped in 2004 and was basically Germany's answer to Fallout. And I say this because for a long old while, a lack of an English translation meant that the game languished in both Russian and German markets, and in turn, overall sales. And it's a real shame because this is basically the halfway evolution between Fallout 2 and 3, mixing in 3D graphics and party management into a more action-heavy gameplay loop. Now, while The Fall might lack irradiated super mutants and VATS targeting systems, it sure made up for it with bleak post-apocalyptic struggles for survival, deep character customization, branching dialogue paths, and of course, canine companions that just absolutely love getting shot the moment I encounter enemies. Seriously, this post-apocalyptic world presented here hates dogs. It is not a world I want to live in. Couple this with open world elements, vehicles to drive, a day and night cycle, and plenty of side quests to take part in that only come about by talking to the local population, and you have a deep, immersive title that ticks everything that Fallout fans are looking for. It also ticks the has got game crashing bugs everywhere and very wonky controls button, but you know, come on. Anyone who's played the original Fallout games is likely used to these as well, you know. In its current state, with English translations being provided by a dedicated fan base, as well as tutorials on how to make this game look like, well, just regular ass over total ass, The Fall Last Days of Gaia is the diamond in the rough that Fallout fans should not pass up on. Oh, and the intro song was done by a German metal band, and it is so very cheesy that it will be in your head for days. You are very welcome. And number 1, You Are Empty. And so we close on a deep cut of a game with a rather pessimistic title, but one that is so full of horribly sweaty atmosphere that I'm absolutely sure that Fallout fans will be lining up around the bureau de change to play it. This, my friends, is You Are Empty, a first-person shooter that takes place in an alternate history Soviet Union, where, thanks to an experiment designed to turn regular people into super soldiers, fails and leaves you as one of the few remaining normies in a dilapidated city chock full of mutants. Now, Fallout fans will immediately feel at home amongst the ruins and horrendous creatures, and so too will they be drawn in by the unfolding narrative of utopian ideals and experiments gone awry. However, there's just one thing. I know what you're thinking. Jules, you ghoulified egg, this game looks like utter... And you know what, mate? Come here for a second, right? Come here. Let me have a word with you. I know it does, all right? It looks like absolute bollocks. If I'm honest, it just looks like I've got second-hand embarrassment for this game. But you know what? I never said it was going to be good. I never said that the games on this list were going to be stone-cold classics, did I? I just said they were like Fallout games, all right? All right? That you never played them. So with that in mind, all right? We're good. So with that in mind, let me present to you You Are Empty, a game that is ironically full of great ideas that is marred by utter Plus, actually, just come back here again. Come here. Right, okay. Who are you to be turning your nose up at a game that has game-breaking bugs after declaring your love for Fallout? Come on, do you remember Fallout 76? Do you remember any Bethesda open-world title? Come on, bugs are your bread and butter, mate. And in that regard, You Are Empty is absolutely full of them, all right? We're copacetic, we're good. That said, this is definitely one that I'd avoid giving half a chance, if I'm honest, as despite its oozing atmosphere and weird enemy design, there's little to enjoy about the actual game. So yeah, You Are Empty. Phew. Yes, I am. Inside. Thanks to playing this game. Cheers. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 games like Fallout that I guarantee you've never played. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, and on the rare occasion that you might have actually played these games, let me know down there as well, because what good is my guarantee after that? I tell you what, it's almost like it's a clickbaity style title for YouTube. Let's move on from that. Hope that you're treating yourself well, my friends, and if you want to chat to me further on the social medias, you can follow me over here, and you can follow my lovely editor over here. Look at that, I've even got the space to put both social medias on at the same time, but both of you can get out of here, my friends. Because I just want to talk to you, yes, you, the person watching this video who has kindly taken time out of their day to support this channel. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that you are doing well in your own endeavours as well. I hope you treat yourself with love and respect, because you deserve the bloody best, all right? I cannot stress that enough. I say it every single time that I do one of these videos, and over on What Culture as well, because I want people to realise that they deserve better things in life than being hard on themselves, okay? There's too much of that in the world. You are a massive ledge, and you deserve the best. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Now I can actually walk off the set. Amazing. Just ignore this. Just ignore that panel. I'll fix that later. Ignore that.